Hey everyone, this is Laura Manqui and you're watching the Flourish Empowering Thought of the Day. Today I want to talk to you about boundaries and how to make sure we are not becoming very rigid around our boundaries, that we're actually hurting ourselves instead of feeling really great because we're defending our boundaries. So let me tell you a story so this makes a little bit more sense. The other day, I went to send my Christmas cards, finally. And I was in a long line at the post office. And when I finally got up to the front of the line, a lady just stepped in front of me. And when the person at the counter asked who was next, she went up and she started speaking to the person who was attending. And so I got huffy and I went in front of her and I said, "No, I'm next. Don't you see that there's a line here of people waiting?" And she looked at me and she said, "Well, I have been here for some time and I was just writing an address." And so I looked at her with my angry face and she said, "Well, if you're going to get that way about it, I'll go to the end of the line." And I said, "I think you should." I felt bad about that. I kept on thinking about it, even though I had defended my boundary, because one thing that I do not support is people cutting the line. And I have always said to myself, if someone cuts the line, I will speak up. And so I was defending my boundary. I felt bad about it. And then I thought about it and I said, why? Well, because I saw her cut the line before and I could have asked her or pointed out that we were already in the line. And so there's a difference between defending boundaries and getting very angry about it, or getting very emotionally frustrated. So what is the thought I wanted to convey to you? Boundaries are important. They're very important. We must have our boundaries and defend them. But if we realize that we are hurting ourselves by defending our boundaries, or we are feeling not emotionally empowered after defending our boundaries, then maybe there is a better way to do so. I remember that I used to force people who would commit to meeting with me. If they didn't want to meet, I would force them to do so. I had friends, we'd always go out. We were 4 girlfriends, we would always go out. And I remember that once we were going to get together on a Friday and they were all tired and I obligated them to go out because my boundary was, if you have a commitment with me, you have to honor that commitment. That was the boundary I had, and it was the boundary I had for myself. If I had a commitment, then I had to honor it. But then I realized that we would all have this a really bad time because we were all tired, and plus I had forced everybody to go out. And so here's the thing. Boundaries are important, but the way we enforce them has to have a bit of flexibility, and we have to see where that flexibility lies. So I hope that this thought has been useful for you, and I hope to see you back again tomorrow for another Flourish Empowering Thought. Thank you.